What's up? We are back. Race, Sports, and Slams, brought to you by the good old people over at Boink Studios. Be sure to follow the podcast on Boink Studios YouTube, where you'll find plenty of our shows reviewing everything from movies to music, video games, books, and a lot more. We've got content basically dating back from 2014. We're not behind a paywall, so give us a follow and visit the website, please. BoinkStudios.com. We start every Monday with the fire. Race, Sports, and Slams. We're bringing it. All right, let me introduce the tandem. First, the only person on the planet who doesn't like Wemby, Matt Carver. What's up, my friend?
What's up, America? It's your boy, brother, a.k.a. the Wemby hater, whatever you want to call me.
That's right. And the other piece to the puzzle, the only person that thinks Michigan is going to win the NCAA tournament, Walt Duncan, what's up?
That's not true. That's not my team, man. But it's all good. Walt Duncan representing America. I'm here with my fellas. We're about to do the darn thing. Let's go.
Let's do this thing. Please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. BoinkStudios.com, where you can find us. Notice our new background. It's a little funky. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
We have a unique producer who makes these things happen. I'm not going to say his name. It's a secret, but I'm happy. Anyways, our first topic of the day is A.J. Brown and Maxx Crosby. Both these guys are under a lot of scrutiny. Both guys are unhappy. There's a lot of talk. Both these guys could potentially leave. I will kick this off, and then I will go to Mac. I think A.J. Brown will leave because he doesn't like playing with Jalen Hurts. He's a big baby. He wants the spotlight. He wants it to be the A.J. Brown show. So I think he's going to leave. Now, the question is, where will he go? I'm going to say he goes to a team that could use a receiver, where he could be the number one. I'm going to go on a stretch here and actually say maybe a team like the Jets. They could use a receiver like him. Cleveland could use a receiver like him. I know he probably wants a big market. So, maybe the Rams in LA, because he's that type of guy. Maxx Crosby, on the other hand, I think he's in his prime. He's doing his thing, defensively. He's one of the top defensive ends in the game right now. And he's wasting his time there. At the end of the day, he had 10 sacks last year, 1 pick. He wants to leave. He wants to be on a contender. I can foresee him going to a team that can use a defensive rusher like the Cowboys. I don't know who the Cowboys are going to give up to get him, but I know he's one of the they are one of the teams that is inquiring about him as well as New England. I'm losing my voice here. This is where I think it's going to go. Mac, do you see either guys leaving? And if so, where? You got the floor, my friend. What you got?
No problem at all. All right, so America, this has been a conversation since last week. We tapped into this as a possibility with him. I'm saying or going. I think for the continuity of the team. Now, mind you, America, the Eagles they got a new offensive coordinator. Now, for all intents and purposes, we're gonna blame a lot of what happened last year with the other offensive coordinator. I'm not even gonna get into his name, but the point I'm making is this. It's got to be unity and harmony with the coach along with the team, and the most important person is the quarterback. If you are making comments on the sideline, and if you're having disparaging statements, or from our point of view as a fan, when you see the wide receiver having an argument with the head coach while the game's going on, trying to do his job, 100%, it is time for you to go. Either it's on purpose or on accident. Whatever be the case, the camera spotlight turned into it, and we saw what happened. We seen the same situation with Stephon Diggs when he was with the Bills. America, let's all remember 2 years ago. You seen him on the sideline looking at Josh Allen like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? And what happened? He was gone. Great wide receiver. Went to another team. He's with New England now. Good for him. They had a great season. They went to the Super Bowl. something that Joshua isn't able to do. AJ Brown, by all points, by all standards, it looks like Howie Roseman will cut him loose. They will get trade for him because he is a top talent wide receiver. And I'm thinking about, you might be right with the Jets, but how about the Pats? All right, Max Fax, he worked with AJ Brown when he first came into the league. So it's not like the coach over there is not familiar with him. Apparently, they've had conversation also, too, in the offseason. If he shows up with New England, it'd be a great place for him. He will be clearly the number one guy. It wasn't like he's not with Philly. However, I'm pretty sure Howie Rose will be like, yeah, this guy's going to be a cancer. We can't have it. Like, you can't do that. So, America, we all saw last year where he complained a lot in the beginning of the season. He wasn't getting the ball. Then they started feeding him the ball, and then he's missing all these wide open catches to him. And then his rebuttal was, there's enough blame to go around for everybody. Not how you want to play as a Philly fan. They will boo him, and he's going to be gone. As far as Maxx Crosby, he is top tier. Do I think he's going to stay with the Raiders? Absolutely not. You are absolutely right from the standpoint of they're wasting his time. However, they need players. They need fans to come to these games, and he is a game changer, just like Myles Garrett is. So that will be the biggest concern, I think, is what's going to happen. I'm concerned of a couple things with Max. He can probably demand to pay him, but the Raiders at this point as an organization don't know what they're doing yet. Their quarterback is what they're concerned about, and they're probably going to let him go. I think the Rams will be a good fit for him also as an opportunity. I mean, the Jets, listen, man, that's destination doom. It'll be the same situation with the Raiders if he goes to the Jets. They don't have stability, so I think that's the biggest issue. So I like him going to the Rams. Or how about the Cardinals?
But then he wants to win. Like, this is his time to win.
Yeah, how about that?
He actually wants to win. All right, well, what you got, my friend?
So you guys make some great points. I'm going to go with Maxx Crosby first. You hit the nail on the head there, Ray. He definitely wants to win, right? He's tired of being on these teams that don't even make the playoffs, that the inconsistency. You can see the drive that he has in him. And I think I also agree with you with the Rams, Mac. I think that I could see Max going there. That's kind of what they were missing, right, in the playoffs. Really that consistent pass rush. And if he was added to that line, oh my goodness, right, they would be scary. And it might have been a different story this year. It might have been the Rams versus the Patriots, right? Instead, right? I think when they get that consistent rush and they get that guy, and Max kind of has that swag, right? He kind of and that's what the Rams were kind of missing. You remember Aaron Donald used to be in the middle. He was the anchor. Yeah. He was that guy that could not be stopped. He had that swagger. He had that confidence, right? That leadership. I think that's what the Rams need. Now, going over to AJ Brown, he's definitely a diva wide receiver. So he needs to go to a place that has a coach that can handle that, right? I don't know if the Jets are that place. I don't know if maybe the Patriots could do that, but Diggs is already there. I mean, Diggs may be gone after this year too. But I like to throw out a destination that may surprise you, right? I'm always coming with the curveballs, right?
Yeah. I'm listening.
I think they have the coach in place to handle his emotions and his ego. And I also think they have a good enough quarterback in place too, right? That can give him the ball, and the guy has a cannon. I think he goes to the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? He ends up being the guy. They got Mike McDaniel, who was the head coach of the Dolphins, going over there to run the offense now. You have Justin Herbert, who can sling the ball. You have some complementary pieces at the running back and wide receiver. Keenan Allen is going to be a year older, so who knows what he's going to look like. And they really need a number one guy, right? I think they have McClunky, as wide receiver, but he's not really the overall guy. He's like a support piece. So you add AJ Brown to that offense, and I think they would be dynamic in their division.
I like that.
I like that a lot. That's not a bad call. Not even because Keenan Allen is still Keenan Allen, but like you said, he's 32. So, in football years, that's like 60. So,
Yeah.
so it's
And
hard. He definitely would not be, the number 2 there. If AJ went there, he'd become the new number 1. He needs to be there. And San Diego's not far away from being a legit team. I think between the two, I think Crosby has that strong desire, like you said. Well, he really wants to win now, and he's got to go to a team where he has a legit shot. So we shall see. Our second topic of the day is Mr. Brandon Aubrey, the former soccer player turned golden kicker, is having issues with the Cowboys. And as of early 2026 this year in March, the Dallas Cowboys are effectively working to lock down the restricted free agent with a long-term market-setting contract, which Jerry Jones confirmed a good offers on the table while the team aims to make him the highest NFL kicker paid. Reports suggest Aubrey is seeking a deal nearing $10 million a year.
$1 million a year.
Now, I need Walt to tell me first, explain to the audience what this whole tender situation is with his contract. And then I want you to tell me, where do you see this ending up? Do you see him getting a long-term deal? What are your thoughts on this? And then we'll go to Mac, and then I will close it out. So for the fans out there, please explain this to them.
So, with restricted free agents, that you can put a first round tender on them or a second round tender. So what that means is that the team could match the offer, the original team. So the Cowboys could match his offer. But if they did not, and say I put a first round tender on Aubrey and he left to go to another team, that other team would have to give me a first round pick. Or if I put a first round tender on him, or if I put a second round tender on him, they would have to give us a second round pick for Aubrey if we were not going to match his demands, right? So if someone comes along and wants to pay him $10 million, more than likely, I don't know if the Cowboys are going to accept that. Right now, the highest kicker in the NFL, I think, is Harrison Butker. I think he's averaging a little over $6 million a year, which is the highest paid. And I think Brandon Aubrey ranks towards, like, if not the bottom, I think he's like bottom 3 of all the kickers in the NFL right now, right? So no kicker right now is making $10 million, right? Mm-hmm. Someone's close, but that's Harrison Buckner, and he's already had some big games in the Super Bowl and the playoffs and stuff like that, kind of proven himself. Like Aubrey, he's been good during the regular season, but he hasn't. We haven't seen him, win a game in the playoffs for anybody. We haven't seen him, come in clutch like that. Maybe in some regular season games, sure. Do I think, would I pay him if I was the Dallas Cowboys? Maybe close to $10 million, but not $10 million. That's a lot of money to pay a kicker these days, right? And so, and plus he's not the most accurate kicker in the NFL. Does anybody know who that most accurate kicker is in the NFL right now?
I'm gonna say the guy on the Eagles. No,
Dicker the kicker.
Really?
For the Los Angeles Chargers, right?
Wow.
So he is.
But he's got to be top 3, no?
Who? Brandon Aubrey. I think he's top 5.
Okay.
Top 5, but that's still great, right? But does that warrant you becoming the top paid kicker in the league when you're not even the top guy from an accuracy standpoint? I'm not saying he's not great. I'm not saying he's not good, but he's not the guy when it comes to accuracy. That's Dicker, the kicker.
Dicker the kicker.
Yep.
All right, Mac, what you got?
All right. Okay, America. I'm going to say one word. There may be controversial, not, which is ridiculousness. Ridiculousness. We're talking about, America, we are talking about a kicker. We're not talking, I guess if you want to consider it special teams, it's not even offense or defense. You have one job to do. One job to do. And I will reference this as a reference from a great movie that Ice Cube produced called The Players Club, where the owner said, all you do is spin records. That's all you do. Who you think you are, kicker? Now, let's be honest. This dude is a kicker. All you do is kick the ball. How do you think you are entitled to $10 million? Say it with me, $10 million. $10 million is what you want when you ain't even on the field. You ain't even on the field. Maybe less than 10 minutes of every game. You're not even. No one knows who you are. Stay in your lane. Like, you're the kicker. You are not entitled. We're going to give you money, accept what we give you. Now, every team needs one. All right? Every team needs one. All right. So I'm going to say this again. What's this guy's name, America? I'll wait. Does anyone know what his name is still? No, I'll wait. This guy does not deserve this space to warrant $10 million. This is insane. And he's only been in the league 2 years. Yeah. That's the worst part. I can see if you outperformed your contract, but you just got here. You're not even rookie at this point. He wasn't drafted, America. First, fun facts. He was not drafted. The Cowboys picked him up. He was in the UFC. He was in the Canadian League as far as being a kicker before he got here. So it's not like this dude was 2023 NFL draft. No, he was not. They got the dude. They found him. Good for them. This is an absolute joke for $10 million. Stay in your lane. Be a kicker and take what the league is going to offer you. All right?
Tell us how you
America, who remembers his name? I'll wait.
Oh, gosh. All right.
Who remembers him after today?
Let me say this. In 2025, Brandon Aubrey was 36 of 42 in field goals, so over 86%. 47 of 48 extra points. His field goal attempts were 36 of 42. His longest was 64 yards. He played all 17 games. So he didn't get hurt. He's 5 for 5 from 20 plus. He is 6 for 8 from 50 plus. So he's got decent credentials. I think he deserves decent money. Do I think he deserves out of this world, high on what money? No. I think he's a great kicker. I think he's a great asset. In this league, you need a kicker because there are not a lot of good ones out there. I would take my chances with the first pick tender, and worst case there, I get a first round pick out for him if you want to give him $10 million. If you're smart, Jerry, I would do that because you know what? It's a win-win. Either he gets paid $5-6 million and has to suck it up, or he gets his $10 million. But hey, you get a first round pick. First round pick, you get another kicker. You'll be all right. So we shall see. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't treat him like he's a scrub because his numbers are what they are. He's a top 5 kicker. His numbers don't lie. You know what they say? Ball don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Yeah. His numbers are what they are. I just agree with you, Mac, that he doesn't deserve $10 million. However, I'm not paying him $2 or $3 million. So to Walt's point, he deserves something. He's a top 5 kicker. All three of us can agree. Yes.
Look, because he's trying to reset the market, right? If you pay that guy $10 million, then other kickers are going to be like, okay, I'm more accurate than him. Give me 12. And then next thing you know, you're going to be paying a guy $20 million just to kick field goals in the future. I don't know.
You know what? Our first applause of the day goes to you. So
okay, America.
Well,
hold on, America. Can anyone name first of all, can anyone name what kickers are in the Hall of Fame? I want someone to chime in. I know offhand because one I definitely respect it. First of all, if you can tell us how many there are, that should probably sum it up also too. And if you know their names, even better. So I want our fans, someone to chime in to tell us. Of course, Max Facts has the info, but I want to see if our fans tell us who this guy think he's better than, who's in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen. Listen.
So you're a Wemby hater and a Brandon Aubrey hater. He's got two people you don't like.
America, you guys need to understand one thing and one thing only. I understand what he wants. However, the only reason why he was even on a conversation with us today is because he plays for the team called Dallas Cowboys. That's the reason why his name is in the news. If he would have been on the Browns, would this be even a conversation on ESPN? No. If he was with the Cardinals, would we be having a discussion about this crumb? No. But he's with Dallas. He makes the news.
But calling him a crumb is a little harsh.
Okay.
He was saying if he was on a different team.
Like America doesn't know this guy's name after next week, bro. This dude, he's making more than I will. All I'm saying is I just don't understand how this has become news because it is. It's on ESPN.
It's big news. It's on ESPN. It's on all the channels. We have to bring it up because that's what we do. This
exactly.
is our job. We're supposed to bring the fire. We're supposed to bring that heat. And this is the heat.
On Dallas is the only reason why.
You see, Walt sweats from all the heat we bring. We bring the heat.
Yes.
All right. So it is what it is. Yes. All right. Before we get to our next topic, let's say hello to some people out there. Tim Gonzalez, what's up, my friend?
Timmy, it's been a minute. What's up, brother?
Oh my God. What's up? Let's see what else we got. Saucy Irish Mama. Aubrey's a heck of a kicker. He's a good soccer player and can kick. I like to see him elsewhere. Okay. Nando's in the house. What's up, Nando?
What up, brother?
Eric Colon is in the house. Morton Anderson has to be the one.
Back. All right. Where's Maria at? Come on, girl. Chime in.
All right. We're going to move gears and we're going to talk about the hottest and latest trade. Detroit Lions have traded David Montgomery to the Houston Texans for draft picks. David Montgomery, was a decent running back for the Lions. He had 158 carries for 716 yards, 8 touchdowns, decent numbers. I don't know what happened, what transpired to get him booted off this team. The Houston Texans definitely needed a back, so it helps for them. Now they just get a quarterback, they'd be good to go. Here are my thoughts on this. I will kick this off, then we'll go to Walt, and then we'll let Matt close. I don't know what Detroit has in mind. I don't know who their other running back is. I couldn't tell you his name. I thought Montgomery was your lead back. Unless they're looking to grab a running back in the draft, because this draft has a decent amount of quarterbacks and running backs this year. This is one of the years where if you're looking for a defensive end or a defensive rusher, you're not going to find it. You find some corners, you'll find some quarterbacks, and you'll find a couple of run backs. But I don't know. We shall see. For Texans, kudos to them. They needed it. They filled a void. So I'm not mad at them. And like I said, I wish David Montgomery all the best. And maybe this will be, greener pastures for you. You'll shine more in Texas. Texas, the Texans made the playoffs. And I think they do more with a decent running back. So we shall see. All right, well, what are your thoughts on this?
I think that the Texans were smart on their behalf to try to go get David Montgomery. Kudos to them. Mm-hmm. I think that from some of the reports that I was reading earlier, it looks like he demanded a trade. And the only reason a player would want to do that, of his caliber, is because I think he was sitting behind Gibbs, who's dynamic, and to me, one of the top running backs in the league already. And so I think that David Montgomery was watching that. He's like, hey, I can do the same thing. I want to be that. I want to be guy number one. You know what I'm saying? And so I think with the Texans, their running game was not up to par in the playoffs or during the season, really. Mixon was hurt. They brought in Chubb, who was still a shell of himself, and they drafted Woody Marks in 2025, and he was kind of up and down as a rookie running back in 2025. So I think that, they're bringing David Montgomery in because they know what he can do. I think they want him to be the lead back in Houston. And I think because they feel like, okay, he's going to be better than what we already have on the team. Right.
Agreed.
I think that, David Montgomery may have made a mistake because I think he left a good situation. A 1-2 punch like that with Gibbs, I think was, if you would swallow his pride a little bit, the Detroit Lions, they had a little bit of a down season last year. But for the most part, the last couple of 2 or 3 seasons, they've been, right at the top as far as contending, right? And so I think he just wanted to get out of there because it was about ego for him, in my opinion.
Okay. So you feel he wanted to be that one?
Yep.
Okay, Mac, what you got?
Well, I think I guess the word I like to use is called bell cow as far as running back, like use him for the first downs. We need 2 yards, bring him in. I think that's what Montgomery thought he could be. But he's not Kenny Walker the third either. We saw in the Super Bowl with the Hawks of how they ran that brother to death. But it worked. But they have the 1-2 punch. If Montgomery thinks he's going to be the guy, the man, I mean, good luck to him. You're forcing your way out. They did have some solid running backs, like Walt just mentioned. But it's always there's no one all down purpose back really in the league anymore. Those days are gone. It's always like the thunder and lightning, the tandem of two guys, a scat versus north-south runner. For the 2 yards, the 1 yard punch. I think Montgomery is that as far as like north-south. He's not known for the Raz-Daz, drop on a dime spin. That's not him as a runner. So I think he would be service elsewhere. And I understand him trying to force his way out, but I think when he gets to the Texans, they're going to have a conversation of how they're going to use him. Like they wanted him, they got him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a situation where you left Detroit. You're right. Solid situation. I mean, they had a down year this year. Houston Texans, they were knocking at the door. They got beat. And I think hopefully he realizes if you ask for a trade, you got it. He is going to a contending team. He's not destination doom like the Browns, like the Raiders. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so you can be an all great back with a team who doesn't win, or you can be with a contending team. So I'm happy that at least he has an opportunity to still win. And let's see if he can make the most of his deal. But we all know sometimes the grass ain't always greener. He could be in this room, offensive coordinator, and be like, listen, I know what you did to get out of there, but this is what we do here. If you don't like it, oh, well. So I don't know if their OC can do that with him or him to – I mean, he went from one good program to the next. So that's the difference, I think. So. All
right. Well, the Texans, they're sending their 2026 fourth-round pick, offensive lineman Juice Scruggs. And they're sending a 7th-round pick from Montgomery. So it's not a bad trade. My question to you guys is, do you see David Montgomery being a lead back? I think he still has enough there. He's not like a 35-year-old running back. He still has enough juice where, I get it. On Detroit, he wasn't the lead back. I think he had flashes of it. I think he could be a lead back again. So I understand his point. Do you see him still being a lead back, or you think he's going to go to Texas and end up being this like secondary back, or what you say, Mac, a cowbell back? I'll let Walt kick in and I'll let Mac end it.
Mm-hmm. Look, I think that's why they traded what they traded for him, right? Look, it wasn't like a, day 1 or 2, pick, but, the 4th round offensive lineman and the 7th round pick for a guy. I mean, he must really have wanted him in my estimation, right? So like, I think you trade those pieces for a running back that you plan to be your starter on day 1, right, of the season. So I think the Texans wanted to bring him in. I think we're going to see some depth chart casualties. I think Mixon may be out of there, and I think Chubb may be out of there as well. Because they have some other younger guys, and I think David Montgomery. I think he's 28, 29 years old, and so
28.
Yeah, and so Mixon, I believe, is a little bit older than that. And Chubb, he's had those major knee injuries. So I think you give David Montgomery a shot and see what you can get from him.
All right, Mac, what you got?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same sentiment. 28, you're right. They gave up some draft picks to get him. It wasn't like just we're letting you walk as a free agent. So they must see some value in him to make at least 2 trades. Like, there's got to be a substantial reason that someone's seen on and it had to be the offensive coordinator said, I want him. Like, you know what I mean? But I think he needs to come in, and I hope he does not have the mentality, well, obviously you know what I can do, and these are my demands while I'm on the team. He's either can conform with what they have going on. I think their head coach will definitely have a conversation with him too. He's got to move into the culture of the Texans. The culture and identity for Detroit was throw the ball, not run the ball. And so I think that's going to be the difference. And you're right, Nick Chubb, he's been banged up. It's unfortunate. Mixon was solid for him. He just didn't show up in the playoff game, bro. Like, he was, I don't know what happened, man, but I guess that's why they got Montgomery to try and fill the void.
Yep.
All right. Let's get some comments in the house. Maurice Jackson is in the house.
Yeah, what up?
Next freedom money. He'll be back number 1. I like that. I actually like that. And my man Tim, Texas need a top running back to go with the quarterback. Just the Texas needs offensive line to protect CJ. Yes, they definitely do.
Yeah, they
100%.
do. Oh my gosh, 100%.
All right. We're switching to the round ball, and we're talking hoop time. Stephen Curry is out at least 5 more games, according to ESPN. He's still dealing with knee issues. Porzingis is out for another, they said 2 weeks. Right now, the Golden State Warriors are the 8th seed. They're dropping like flies. So things are not looking good for Golden State. I will let Mac kick this off. Do you see Golden State potentially even getting out of the play-in brackets because they'll fall to the 11th seed and not even make the playoffs?
11th seed.
Do you think they'll still make it? And if they do, will they? It's a 2-part question. Like I said, Mac kick it off. Do you think they'll make the playoffs? Do you think they will do something if they do make the playoffs?
All right. So do I think they're going to make the playoffs? Yes, I think they're going to make the playoffs. If Steph is out more than 5, that will be the question mark. Now, we're going to really see who is going to rise to the top and really step up for Golden State at this point. With Steph being gone, we know he's the GOAT. We know it. Everyone sees it, smells it, breathes it. But the problem is can Draymond keep his act together long enough? And unfortunately, what's my man's name they got this past year? He got hurt already. Come on, y'all.
Jimmy Butler?
Butler. Yeah, Butler. The idea was in case Curry went or got injured or be a deficit of loss of games, he was going to be the guy to help him stay on track. And he's out still too. So that's going to be the challenge now if anyone else can step up to the plate to try and help. Out. And Porzingis, yeah, that's not helping either. So it's a lot of deficit that they have. I do believe they will get in. Now, when they're in, depending on if Curry's 100% or not, I don't think it'll take him long to get back to the rhythm of playing. But if he is definitely back in, I think they'll make at least the second round because he's the engine. You know what I mean? And right now we got spare parts that they're putting together, but he's the engine that makes them go, and everyone knows that. So I think they're going to get in. I think they'll make the second round. After that, there's too many other good teams out there now.
All right. Well, this is your love. This is your passion. Let's talk hoop. What you got?
So look, do I think that the Golden State Warriors are going to make it to the play-in at least? Yes, I think they do. I think some of the other teams that are behind them aren't good enough to catch up to them in the standings. They have enough talent and enough youthfulness to, win some games. But they are also the number in terms of age. They're the second oldest team in the NBA. Right.
Did not know that.
Yes, so, this is Duncan's data right here.
so I think that they make it to the I think you were very gracious, Mac. I think you said they're going to make it to the second round. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like if they're the bottom seed and they have to go against one of those top 3 dogs in the on the West. I don't think they're going to make it out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, I think that the Golden State Warriors, they need to reevaluate after this season. Jimmy Butler has been hurt. Steph Curry has been hurt a lot. Draymond Green is older. They're the core of the team. And Porzingis is hurt too, right?
Yeah.
All these guys that are hurt. Like, so Mac always drops this. The best ability is what?
Availability. America. That's right.
All right. Here are my thoughts. I think that if Curry's back within the next 10 games, they will make the playoffs. If this, God forbid, is a big nagging injury and he doesn't come back, God forbid, because I like Steph, there's no shot they're making the playoffs. So it's a two-headed coin, so to speak. If he's healthy and he can make it, if this 5 games only stays to 5, maybe 6, yes. If this 5 turns into 10, turns into 15, no. I think they will plummet and drop to maybe the 10th or 11th seed. If they do make it, I have to go with Walt here, dude. One and done. I do not see this team making to the second round, dude. I don't see it. They're too old. Draymond Green is 87 years old right now. So I don't see how they get past the second round. There's too many young teams, too many running gun teams. The team without these 2 guys, without Porzingis and Curry, looks like a G League team. I saw them get mopped up by the Lakers. It was embarrassing.
Oh, come on,
and they weren't even trying, and they were just mopping them up.
Said G League.
They look like a G League team. Right now, without Curry, without Porzingis, this team is looking like poo-poo doo-doo. They're 31-29, so they're still hanging in there at 8. And to Walt's point, there's so many teams that are below the poo-poo to doo-doo level that they're hanging in there because of that. Because the differentials is so bad that they're in it by default. If they played a team, like OKC, oh my God. That's if it's a best of 5, that's 3 and done. Getting swept. Yeah. So I don't know, dude. Like I said, it really depends. I hope it's 5, because then yes. And if Porzingis is out for, let's say, 7, you get 2 of them back. Yes, they will make the playoffs, and they will get eliminated in the first round, but they'll make it. They'll be in the play-in. I'll say like the 8th seed, so they'll get home court. But I will say this: if they get the 8th seed, they could win that first round in the play-in and then lose. But they'll at least win that play-in.
That's what I'm saying. At least the
if they get the 9th or 10th seed, no. They don't have home court in the play-in. No. Then it's gonna be tight, dude. It's gonna be tight. They have to get the 8th seed. They have to. It's like 8th or bust. You don't want to be the 9th seed and have to play the 8th seed, because then you're in trouble.
Okay.
Who's 9th right now, Walt? You're the data king.
The Clippers.
So you don't want the Clippers with home court. No way. You want to be in Golden State. I'm just saying, it's without Curry, for them to drop to the 9th seed, it would be because Curry's not there. Because I think Curry, to Max's point, Curry is that dude still, and he can will them to a playoff win. 100%. I give you all your props, Mac. In your hoop. You must be sleeping with a basketball, because you're just becoming a hoop king. I don't know what's happening.
The Clippers
He's like that he is, right?
Yeah.
If Kawhi is available, for
that's another if. That's another. If it was the 5th, we'd all be drunk right now, right?
That's true, man.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
Exactly. All right. Timmy says the Warriors will lose in the play-in tournament. Woo! Wow. And Wayne says, not without Curry.
Not without Curry. You're right.
All right.
You're right.
We're switching gears, and we're staying with hoop. The New York Knicks had a very impressive win, beat the number 1 seed, Antonio Spurs, with the guy that Mac hates, Victor Wembanyama, 114-89. The most impressive victory the Knicks have had all year. I give them all their flowers, all their props. The question is, and I will let Mac kick it off first. I will go second, and Walt can close.
All right.
Does this victory mean the Knicks are for real and can win the East? Or is this, hey, they got lucky, a coin lands on tails every 50% of the time, so it's just dumb luck? What does this say about the win? And does this say the Knicks are legit? Can they win the East? I'm putting it on you, Mac. Answer the question.
No problem at all.
America wants to know.
All right, America. We had this conversation at least 4 episodes ago when the Knicks won the mid-season title. And I said, this is the only title they'll ever see. Let's see if they're going to sell T-shirts out in front of the stadium. They were so stoked as if they won the title. I'm like, this would have been the closest thing since the New York Knickerbockers as their franchise name that they're going to see. They won a game. Good for them. Everyone can win one. Every team can get got. And as much as I'm like Mr. Wemby, breathe on him too hard, Vinyana for today. Like listen, the Knicks won a game. Good for them. They're not going to do anything to play up. They do not have the wherewithal, bro. I like him. And obviously Spike Lee loves him. Like, he's been a lifer as far as the Knicks. But bro, like they I don't know. They're hot and cold. They're good when they are, but when they're not, they're not. They won a game. Good for them. But do I think they're going to – okay, let's talk about seeding. We know they're going to the playoffs. We all know that. Will they be a 1 or a 2? Nope. They may be a 3rd or 4th seed at best at this point as far as the rankings. Brother – Dunk Data can tell us to make sure. But other than that, bro, they're not doing nothing, man. Listen, just like Spike Lee, do the right thing. Let's do the right thing, America, and recognize that anyone can win a game. That's
all right. What you got?
Look, I think that the Knicks definitely, they're a talented team. They have, a lot of great pieces on them and stuff. And look, this happens in the NBA. We've seen the Michael Jordan Bulls get blown out by 20 before, when they were dominant, during those years and stuff. So these kinds of things happen, right? But they showed up, they played defense, they stifled the Spurs. It happens. It happens. But the Knicks have also been blown out this year. I think they got beat by almost 40 points at one point, but I think the Pistons beat them by 38, right? And so, yes, anybody can get got, like you said, Mac. Anybody can get it. Anybody can catch these hands, like they said, like kids say, I guess. But look, it can happen at any time, right? So yes, they showed up. They had a game plan. They probably watched film. They came in. They understood the assignment and they accomplished it, right? So I think, yes, kudos to the Knicks for being the number one seed in the West or in the NBA. And but look, man, the playoff time is a different animal.
Absolutely,
it's gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks are a good team. I just don't know if they're good enough to make it out of the East. Maybe there's still some good teams in the East. Mainly Boston and Detroit. But look, those guys in the West, I don't know. Those are different animals. OKC, Denver, Minnesota, those top 5 Western
Lakers,
teams.
You forgot the Lakers. You didn't say Lakers.
The Lakers?
Yeah,
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, all those.
Yeah, here you go. You got to say it. You can say it. Say it with your chest. All right. I'm going to side with a little bit of Mac and a little bit of Walt. I give the credit for the win. They beat the best team in the league right now. San Antonio's for real. San Antonio brings it. They stomped a mud hole in them and walked it dry. Defense, offense. Mikal Bridges had 21. Brunson had 20. They put up some numbers. They did a number. For those who are looking how to beat the Spurs, watch that tape. They trapped. They played some rugged defense. The Spurs can get got. Unfortunately, this loss showed the blueprint. I mean, it's hard to duplicate that because you have to do it, but it shows you the execution, what it takes to beat this team. It wasn't like San Antonio was like 0 for 30 from 3. They just got stuffed. I will say this. Yeah. I think the Knicks could win the East if some way, somehow they avoid Detroit. Because I'm telling you, Superman had kryptonite. The Knicks have Gabe Cunningham. That is their kryptonite. This guy gets on the court and they melt. This guy plays like God. He plays like a combination of Jordan and Kobe combined.
Yeah, out of his mind. Yeah,
out of his mind. Gabe Cunningham becomes the greatest thing since sliced bread, since the chocolate milkshake, since the crispy, tasty fries. This guy could play. And he's already an MVP caliber player. But, man, he sees the Knicks, boy. It's like a bull with the Toro, the cape. Man, he just comes. If they can avoid the Pistons, I think they can. But that's the big if, because Detroit has their number. You know how certain teams just can't beat certain teams. Like I think if the Lakers somehow, some way got there and had to play Denver, Denver's got their number. They can't beat Denver for some reason, some way, somehow. I think the Bulls had a problem with Detroit for a long time back in the 90s. I think the Knicks, they have a Gabe Cunningham problem. And God forbid, they have to play them and he's healthy. That's where your problem is.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to say it's yes with an asterisk. So we shall see, dude. I shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Timmy says the Knicks will get a 3rd seed. I see Boston getting a 2nd behind Detroit. Now, if Jason Tatum comes back, that's another problem.
Yeah.
Oh, and your girl Maria's here. What's up, Maria?
Hey,
what's up?
My girl.
All right. We're switching gears, and we're talking about DeAndre Ayton. What's up with DeAndre Ayton? Well, DeAndre Ayton expressed live in front of a reporter his frustration with his role, saying, I quote, "They're trying to make me Clint Capella. I'm no Clint Capella." These comments overheard after a loss to the Magic, indicating his dissatisfaction with being used primarily as a rim-running, screen-setting big, rather than more of a versatile offensive player. I'm going to kick this off. I'm annoyed. Dude, you're not that dude. You should be happy you're the starting center. Jackson Hayes right now, in my opinion, is playing better, does more, knows his role more. You're not Shaquille O'Neal. You're not Wemby. You're not this dominant center. You were a top pick several years ago, but something happened to you, and you're not that dude. For you to be complaining right now, we're in the middle of the season. Your team is winning, but yet you're mad because you're not the dominant center that the Lakers usually have. I think that if I'm JJ, I'm letting him benching him. I'm starting Jackson Hayes, letting him stew in his poo, and like, you know what, dude, the heck with this guy, because at the end of the day, it's not like you're this massive factor. You know, you're an alley-oop guy. You are a rim protector. You're not a great offensive threat. You can't shoot from 15 feet. I think you're like maybe 70% from the free throw line. So I don't know what this offensive juggernaut guy we're talking about now. I don't even know what he's shooting from three, but it's got to be under 30%. So I just don't understand where this is coming from. So I'll go to you, Mac. What do you think of these comments, and what do you think you should do if you are JJ?
And Ray, you bring up an excellent point. First of all, you're nowhere near Shaq. I mean, Shaq, I think is 7'2" officially or 7'1". He's 7 foot even. Not that it matters, because if you were a dynamic player, you'd be starting. You're not. You need to accept what your abilities are and what they're not. And this guy is complaining, and you're right. He's not Wemby either. I mean, Wemby's like 7'4", but it's like, when a player says, I'm this, I'm that, your court presence should show it, so you don't have to. Like, you're talking because you're not playing, but if you were balling the way you should and protecting the rim, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. And it's the same thing like AJ talking all this noise, and then but your team's winning. Like, I could see if he was playing for the Atlanta Hawks, they're not doing anything no time soon. You know what I mean? Or Washington Wizards. Yeah, you're a player on the team. But this guy, you're on the Lakers. The Lakers, when they are relevant, it makes good media news. It makes good coverage. Just like Dallas has an issue with some guy, his first name is something. And does America even know? Remember from our comments earlier? No, we don't. We already forgot about the guy's name. But he is playing for a franchise that has value and has a history of winning. Know your role and stay in your lane. JJ, it's not I'm going to make an example out of you. If you were good and talented enough, you'd be on the court. They already traded their problem last year to Dallas, as far as Mavericks go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's unfortunate that this guy needs to think he needs to talk as if that's going to make things better. I don't understand it. Like, should he bench him? Yeah, but if he was playing well, it'd be different. He's just not right now, and then like he's complaining. I don't like it.
All right, well, what you got?
Man, you guys hit the nail on the head there. Like, I think DeAndre, he needs to take a chill pill. He needs to realize, like, I think in this moment in his career, because he's kind of been a little bit of a journeyman as well, and I think he needs to realize, like, hey, maybe if I just, know my role and shut my mouth, maybe I'll just like put my head down, do the work, and out hustle everybody else. My play will make room for me, right?
Exactly.
And and I think if he was to do that instead of like going down this road of pride, like the good book says, pride cometh before a fall, right? And so like
love that.
You're trying to say all these different things. You're trying to put yourself forward. Like, I don't understand what it is with these guys. Jordan was one of the greatest players out there, but if you look at some of his oldest interviews, he never was bigging up himself. He just let his game show for him, right? For itself. But nowadays, these players are like, I'm him out the gate. You know what I'm saying? But you're not really that guy. You know what I'm saying? And DeAndre, unfortunately, has not been that guy that everybody thought he was going to be. Guys are I think coming out of college, people were saying, oh, he's going to be the next great big man. And it didn't pan out for him. So I think in his mind, he thinks he's the guy, but he needs to take a chill pill for real.
Do you think, I'm going to ask you guys this one more question. Do you think because he was a first round pick that he still has delusions of grandeur, that he's still supposed to be that guy? When you look at his numbers, I think he's averaging 12 and 8. He's not putting up insane center numbers because he's just not. And there have been several times after the half, they're starting Jackson Hayes because he's just not grabbing rebounds. He can't score. I mean, he can take those Luka alley-oop dunks, but that's about it. He's not doing the dominant center thing that he's supposed to do or he thinks he can do. And at the end of the day, to Walt's point and to Max's point, yeah, I don't know if he's got in his head like, hey, I'm a number one draft pick. I need to be that guy. So I'm going to ask you, Mac, and you, Walt, again. Do you think that's his issue, or is it maybe he's jealous that Jackson Hayes is getting some of his minutes now and he's kind of taking a second bench to him, or what's your thoughts?
You know what? I think some of the issue is when you're right. I think most doesn't matter the sport. When you are first round, top 5, first round picks from football, baseball, basketball, it's one of those, that mentality of, well, I was a first round pick. Yeah, that's great. But there's in the football, there was 32 of them. And, let's see how many actually pan out. It's the same thing with basketball as well. Just because you're first round, if you don't pan out, Greg Oden is a great casualty story. He was a number 1 overall pick, went to the Blazers and injury plagued. And the other guy who was also in his draft class, does anyone remember his name? The second player? No idea. All right, no problem. I'll share that as a Mac facts, and I'll put that at the end. But it's the tragedy when it comes to the league of the entitlement with players. This is where we are now, gentlemen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's unfortunate, but I think he's just delusions of grandeur, as you said. But the irony about all of it is this. If you're playing well,
was it Ralph Sampson?
You start. Huh?
Ralph Sampson?
No, Ralph Sampson.
I know, but he's that type of guy. He was that type of guy.
Was from the 70s.
No, I'm going to say, but Ralph Sampson's like a Greg Oden type.
Yes. Yeah, well, I mean, he got the Converse brand after him, but it is unfortunate. I'll let Walt chime in, and I'll let you know the answer.
You got, bro.
So look, I'll be short and sweet here. I'm just going to use 2 LSU Tigers as an example. One played basketball, one played football. People thought he was going to be like Shaq, but he ended up being like Jamarcus Russell a little bit, right? And, or somewhere in between, right? Because Jamarcus Russell had the hype coming out. Oh, he's going to be this, he's going to be that, he's going to be so good. But he ended up not living up to those expectations. DeAndre Ayton, he's a serviceable, he's good enough to be a starter in the league. And you should hang your hat on that, right? That you can start for somebody's team. You can get a double-double. You're just not that guy. When it comes down to it, you're not Shaq. They're not going to put the ball in your hand at the end of the game and tell you, hey, go get fouled and go, try to win us the game or whatever. You're not that guy. And I think in his mind, he wants to be the guy so bad, because he was that, I think, one of the top picks in his draft class. And it's just, I think he has to humble himself. He needs to eat some humble pie right now.
Yeah. Well, the answer to the question, America, as a Max Facts, Greg Oden, I mentioned he got picked by the Blazers. Our boy KD, Kevin Durant, was the number 1 pick to the Seattle Supersonics, who are no longer a franchise. So, yeah, just goes to show you, just because you're picked as supposed to be the next doesn't always mean the case. It's the same thing with Zion Williams. He's in the league, but the number 2 pick was, does anyone know his name? Maybe Ja Morant.
Ja Morant. Yes, that's Ja Morant.
Number 2. We see how their careers have turned out. Zion's average at this point, but he just never built up to the hype. And that's the same thing that DeAndre is doing right now. He did not live up to the hype.
All right, we're switching gears and we're getting into Mortal Kombat. Clarissa Shields defeated Franchon Cruz de Jrum by a dominant 10-round fight.
Yes.
She won the unanimous decision 190 on all the cards to remain the undisputed women's heavyweight champion at Little Caesars area in Detroit. The 30-year-old overcame an aggressive 30-year-old Cruz de Jrum to secure the victory. I give all her props. Great win for her. I don't know what's left for her in that division. I think that, there's no big money for her. But, there was rumors that she was going to fight Layla Ali, which I think was crazy because Layla Ali's in her late 40s. I don't know what's left for her. I think Clarissa should leave on top. She's a champ. She's 30. She has never been hurt. She's never been knocked out. So I don't know what's left for her to continue this. Mac, what do you think of her win? And do you see her doing anything to get that big money fight? Is there any women boxer out there that would draw money to see Clarissa Shields right now? Because right now it's like her and everybody
else. Yeah, and this is the problem that like the WNBA is facing as well. However, WNBA has a lot more disparity as far as other talent. When it comes to boxing, it is a solo sport, America. And the challenge is that the women's division, as far as boxing, period, overall, has never had a real successful mainstay draw name. She's been the closest besides Layla Ali. Not even Layla's fought as many fights as Clarissa has at this point. And I think what will happen at this point for her is going to be she's going to have to look other avenues. Will we get some MMA fighter to come over who's a champ as far as title contender in their division and this box as an opponent next? I think that's what's next for her, because you're right, at this point, she is not in a situation unlike men's boxing, as we know, how much difference it is and how many other weight classes. She's at the top. If she goes down in weight, who's there to have a conversation with? She's the biggest name, and she knows if she tries to pluck someone from obscurity from a lower weight class, the second weight class down, that'll only help them. It won't help her.
Preach.
So, yeah, so I think her next aspect at this point would be look into MMA title champ or contender or a top athlete in MMA as far as women's division go, and just do a boxing situation like Floyd did with Conor.
Yeah,
that's the only next opportunity for her. You know, Mike Tyson does not have any daughters of legacy who entered boxing. He does have daughters. It's just that none of them ever walked or stepped into the ring. So,
all right. Well,
so,
what you got? And I'm going to ask you both. I'm sorry. Do you both think there's any possibility Layla Ali fights her? But I'm going to let Walt go. Go.
Look, I think that Clarissa, you know, I think she was. It was kind of unanimous that she was going to win the fight anyway before they even. I think it's the second go round for these two, Shields and Cruz. You know, and she dominated the first fight, and she dominated this fight as well. You know, I think Mac, I think you were spot on there. I think in order for her to, like, you know, maybe challenge herself, maybe fight somebody, you know, some up and comer or somebody who's, you know, really talented in the MMA, you know, that can get in the ring with her and give her a good fight, right? And put on a show, right? Because like she's undefeated. I think, you know, I don't know what else is, you know, in the cause for her unless somebody comes out of nowhere in, you know, women's boxing as a heavyweight and really challenges her. I don't think anybody's gonna touch Clarissa Shields. I think she might want to go on to other things and other challenges, you know, and you know, maybe she wants to train up somebody, you know, to box. You know, you never know. I think she's gonna look into other things eventually. Now, will she fight Layla Ali? I don't think so. I think Layla Ali, you know, she had. What's the last time she boxed? Right, I can't even remember the last time Layla boxed.
It's been 10 years.
You know, so like I think, look, would it bring you know money and eyes to the fight? Sure, but I think Clarissa would dominate that fight as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, no shade at Layla. You know, she was great when she was boxing as well, but I think Clarissa would come in and be dominant with that too. And that, besides that, I think there's nothing for Clarissa to prove.
Agreed. All right. Our last topic of the day is Ronda Rousey is stepping back into MMA to fight Gina Carano. For those who don't know, Ronda Rousey finished her UFC career with a 6-2 record, 12-2 overall in MMA. She was the bantamweight champion for a while. She got 2 losses to her credit to Holly Holmes and Amanda Nunes. Gina finished with a 7-1 record. She competed in Elite XX, Strikeforce. She was considered a pioneer in women's MMA. I will kick this off. I will go to Mac and Walt. This is turning into, unfortunately, Mayweather Pacquiao, Tyson Jake Paul. I don't know why anybody would want to see Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano MMA fight at this point in their career. They haven't fought since Jesus gave communion at the Last Supper. I don't understand why this is happening. I am not watching this. No disrespect to either one of them, but this is like, I don't know what this is going to represent. You know, Ronda hasn't fought. Like I said, anybody worth of note, when she fought Amanda Nunes, she got the brakes, tires, front tail light beat out of her.
Did she ever?
She just took one, boy. I mean, my body hurts from that beating. So I don't know what the point of this is. You know, I know there's some rivalry between the two of them. So it's going to make money. I mean, people are going to watch it, but I don't like these types of fights. You know, I don't know what this is going to do for anybody's career because, like, neither one of these girls are going to step up and challenge for a title right now. It's not like if Gina or Ronda win, they're going to go to the UFC and challenge, you know, Amanda Nunes right now. And why? To get beat up? I don't know. So, Mac, what you got? And then I'll let Will end it.
Okay. Well, the irony of this is that we just had this topic. It's MMA. Ronda's going back to what she knows. She was in WWE for a while when she finally walked away. And you're right. When she got the bricks beat off of her, she's like, ouch, you know, and then left. You know, I think the challenge is going to be this. What's Gina doing besides acting as far as movies? Like what invested interest does she have to fight her? It all comes down to the dollars and cents. It's the same deal with Tyson and Mayweather. I'm not sure these ladies are broke. I don't know.
Let me applaud that
other
first.
reason, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be this. Like, you know, I don't. And are we going to watch? We'll probably talk about it after the fight's over.
Oh, you know we will.
Yeah. What is the date for it? That's what I don't know. Like, have they announced a date?
Don't get
right now.
Right now.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, Gina's a beautiful looking woman too. I mean, like, why would you take a chance, girl, to get in the ring, get pummeled up some? Like, this is insanity. But I think that's the issue, man.
When is the fight? Well,
May 16th.
May 16th.
May 16th of this year. All right.
Yeah. All right.
3
so
months, you know,
my last question to both of you. Walt, did you even give me your opinion? I'm sorry.
No, but go ahead.
My question, and I'll let you go. Is this a financial thing? Are they both struggling? This is news to me because I thought Ronda made her money in MMA, so I can't picture her being financially struggling. She made a lot of money in WWE as well. So
a lot.
So I don't know.
$1 million.
So Walt, my friend, your turn, my friend. Spit your knowledge.
So look, as far as their money, I just looked at their net worth. Gina has between $4 to $5 million in net worth, and Ronda Rousey, as of 2026, her net worth is $14 million. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean they're broke? Not necessarily, but you know, they might be getting some tax bills for some properties that they own that they need to make some money for, right? And they may be taking care of family members. So sure, I think again, Mac, you've been on it. You know, you're always on it, but you know, you've been on it again tonight, man. I think it is for financial reasons. I think, you know, because they want to be able to continue to live the lifestyle that they're living. You know, both of these women, you know, they're legends in their own way. Ronda, you know, was undefeated for a little bit and dominant in her sport until, you know, she took those 2 losses. And, you know, and then Gina, you know, she became more popular, I think, for her movies, right? And she came out, I think her first movie was Haywire in 2011, right? And everybody's like, oh my God, look, who is this? Who's this woman, right? And so I think that, you know, Gina's 43, 44 years old. Ronda's 39, 40 years old. Like, look, like, I don't know if should it be a good fight? Maybe, but I think that, you know, Ronda should, you know, win, but I don't think, I think it's going to be like, we may see some people that are gassed after the like first 2 rounds. They're going to be like, God, what are we doing?
These ladies are not even active in MMA. They're both going in the 3 months to get them ready. I mean, they both know what it takes to be fight ready, and that's why I think it should be maybe 5 months. But yeah, like, this is insane, bro. It's like 3 months from now. These chicks.
Ronda's a mother. She's been living on a farm. I don't know what this is about. And to Walt's point, Gina's 43. Ronda's pushing 40. I don't know what they're going to do unless there are 3 1-minute rounds. If these are like 3 5-minute rounds, you're going to see the 2 of them collapse in the middle of the first round. I don't know how this is going to work, dude. But it is going to be a rough fight, dude. There's no way these are 5-minute rounds. They have to be 3, 2, or 3-minute rounds, something like that. They're gonna have to cut these. There's no way they're gonna be officially MMA 5-minute rounds. There's no way.
We'll
There's
see.
no way, dude. There's no. We'll see. We'll see.
Are they? Is this just a Netflix pay-per-view with the two of these, or is it going to be undercards the whole 9 yards?
No, it's the whole 9 yards.
That?
This is a big Jake Paul thing.
Jake Paul. There you go.
You didn't say, you should have led with that. Okay, so he's giving him a cut already of at least 10. They're both going to get at least 10 mil because of the buzz with him. And then yeah. Okay, that helps a lot of this.
Do you predict a winner? I know Walt's going with Ronda. Who you going with?
I'm gonna go with Ronda just because of it's been lesser time since she's been active than Gina. Like you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm
gonna concur with you. We're gonna have a hat trick. I'm gonna go with Ronda too, just because even though she was in WWE, she still has been taking hits and taking some falls.
Yeah, and then Gina's
been movies.
Yeah, Gina's going to be 44 when they fight.
44. That's rough. And she hasn't fought. Like I said, last time she fought, I think Lyndon Johnson was president. So we're in trouble, dude. I don't know. All right, we're at the final buzzer. This is where you can ask us anything about anything. We're capping it out. Let's get to these comments. And Wayne is saying Clarissa already tried MMA.
Oh, did not know that.
She was 2-1 MMA fights. Okay.
Okay, thank Brother Robinson.
Eric says round of applause is just a way to get noticed for acting careers or maybe a reality show or something, as long as they can get their names out there and the physiques out there. Yeah.
Good point,
Eric, is what type of shape is Ronda in fighting wise? I know she's not obviously out of shape, but is she in fighting shape? I mean, you got May, we're in March. So it's not like it's in like March of 2028.
Man, like this is okay, maybe America is found out now, but I'm pretty sure these ladies may have been a decision like January or December. We're going to announce it to build a short buzz window as far as people willing to watch. I don't think they made a decision in February and said we're going to fight in May. Like that's too short of a turnaround. They had to. This had to be cooking in the works. Yeah.
Ray, in your opinion, if Dr. Bus was alive, would he have to go Giannis? Plus, would he go over to the Cap to get Jason Tatum in a trade? I think if Dr. Bus was alive, Giannis would be on the Lakers by now. Yeah. Jason Tatum, I don't know, but Giannis definitely would. He would have traded heaven and earth because he loves big men.
I appreciate that.
Would you both concur?
Yep, Austin Reeves will be going.
He would have been. It would have been signed just like the deal with Shaq came to the Lakers. I mean, Jerry West was like, "What?" Everyone should know the story. There was a whole show about it, of how them two had this conversation of how he said, I'm bringing you over here, big fella, for 100 mil. I can't get you 120. I can get you 100. And I got this kid named Kobe who's going to be amazing. Y'all going to win chips. So absolutely, man. He'd have been already. All
right. Good question. Which of these characters was the best TV dad? James Evans, Uncle Phil, Carl Winslow, or Curtis Payne? All right. I'm going to let Matt go first. That's a good question.
All right. It is James Evans, hands down. Good times. He rustled them kids in. Phil, I appreciate him. He was all words. Winslow was just chubby, wubby, happy guy. Kurt, all right, but I'm thinking all day James Evans, bro. All day.
All right. Walt, who you like?
Man, I got to give it to Uncle Phil. Look, he gave his kids a good life, but he showed up in some situations when they needed him. Like the one thing that stuck out to me is when he came in there and he played pull for Will. When Will got scored at the pull shark, and like Uncle Phil came and bailed him out. So I got to give it to Uncle Phil.
I'm going to break the tie, and I'm going to go with James Evans. He was a real dad, dude. That dude didn't play. There was no such thing as timeouts. There were knockouts. There were no going to corner. No, I'm going to throw you into the corner. So that's what I'm going with, dude. That's what I'm going with. All right, guys. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate everybody again. This was another hot show. Matt, say your parting goodbyes and tell us what you want to say.
All right. No problem at all, America. Listen, as usual, please like, share, and subscribe to Boink Studios. I just want to say, America, this is the time of year for me as far as work with my company, Communities in Schools, scholarships. For any parent who has kids in high school right now, apply to as many as you can. Remember to always show love to get love from everyone else, too.
All right. Mac, thank you, my friend. I will see you. Stay in the studio. All right, well. Parting shots, my friend.
Look, America, we love you. We appreciate your support. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, subscribe, share. We appreciate you, and we want to know exactly what you want us to talk about. Email Ray, hit me up, hit Mac up, and any topics you want to discuss, we'll put it on for you.
100%. Preach. Each DM any one of us if you have any suggestions. I agree with that, Wall. 100%. All right, stay in the studio. Let me say goodbye. Well, there, another one in the books. Ray Sports and Slams. We did it again. Brought nothing but the fire. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support. And like my two partners in crime say, please like, share, subscribe. BoinkStudios.com, where you can find us. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next Monday. Same bat time, same bat station. And we out.